Hello plant friends, welcome back for another episode. So this is going to be part 3 of this series with Jumanji John. Jumanji John is a hardworking, really high energy family man who sells plants mostly on Facebook and mostly out of his garage. So hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. In this episode, we'll be talking about growing plants and maintaining plants in drier climates. Being near the coast in Southern California, I would say, a pretty easy time growing plants, growing aroids in my place, just because the climate and the humidity is just so mild. I think in the U.S., if you're living in Florida, if you're living in Southern California near the coast, we have I would say, relatively a pretty easy time growing rare aroids or rare tropical plants. I think that a lot of places in the U.S., especially in the Midwest, the Northeast, and probably a lot of other places around the world, you guys have a much tougher time. So, in this episode, we talk about growing plants in, low humidity, high temperature environments. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys also get a little bit more insight and perspective on what some collectors and some growers, have to deal with, depending on where they live. So some of us have it pretty easy, and then some of us have it pretty hard growing these plants that we all love. So you live much further east than I do.
Yes.
Right? You live quite a bit east. So so where I live, I would say, very textbook.
Perfect weather.
What people see on brochures, what people see when they think about Southern California.
Close to the water.
Yeah, right. A lot of palm trees. My temperature, very mild.
If you're not going to get 100 out in Santa Monica very often. It does, but out here I can get a week straight of 100.
Yeah.
We're 40 miles apart, but it's a big difference,
Yeah. So I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with California or the west coast of the U.S.
Hot.
A lot of California is desert or desert.
Scorching hot.
Right, desert-y. So what's your winter like here? What's your summer like here?
The winter wasn't too bad this year. Generally, it's summer all the time out here, but as I got into the more and more into rare plants, I've learned that not all of them can survive out there below, let's say, 40. I even watched a temperature like 37, 38. That was it. It was killing leaves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen like that very long, but all it takes is one night, and that's it. It's going to wreck some plants. So it happened to me this winter.
But it went down to like 40?
Over here it got to 37, I think.
Okay.
And it definitely hurt some plants, and my huge micans suffered, and a lot of plants did. I even threw some plants out. So that was one thing. That's really how my garage started in here. I started putting them in the garage.
All right.
Now they'll stay in the garage, and I'll fill the backyard up again. But winters aren't too bad.
Okay.
We don't get massive.
So how's the summer? I think summer's a
little bit worse.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm concerned about being in the garage. I have an AC unit in the corner for all the plants, but it's definitely going to get too hot in here. It definitely gets too hot outside. I have curtains set up that block, my shaded area.
Would you go up to like 110?
Pretty close. It could get there. I'd say, we went a little bit, another 20, 30 miles east, we'll definitely get there. My particular city, we're in the hundreds, we're in the high 90s. Yeah. Often, yeah. 3 or 4 months.
Yes, this is why I don't live here.
I am
wuss.
Jimmy's over there nice. It's nice at Jimmy's house.
I am a wuss.
Party at Jimmy's house.
So yeah, it gets up to I would say 105. That's not uncommon, right?
It could be 105 at my house and 82 at Jimmy's.
Yeah, literally that's what it would be. And then what's your humidity like here?
I've grown up in drier parts, so it's not as nice as being next to the beach. But yeah, I'd say relative humidity is probably 20-30%, which is still a little low. Really low.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
20.
What's yours down there? Do you know?
Yes.
50, 60?
During the summer, it's like 50 to 60.
Yeah.
And then during the winter, when I'm like blasting my heater.
What is it?
Because it's so cold.
Yeah.
The heater, the humidity for the heater is about like 20 to 30.
Oh, so you're my norm, even though when you're running the heater.
Yeah, when I'm running the heater, I really feel it too. I'm just like, this is super dry.
Yes. Gonna crisp some leaves. Turn it off.
So how do you manage the humidity here, or at least the lack of humidity?
Once again, it goes back to it's a full-time job. I have just umbrellas everywhere, shade cloth everywhere. Luckily, my normal 9 to 5 allows me to get home at a reasonable time before the sun has had a complete opportunity to scorch stuff.
Okay.
You know, but I'm usually home between 1 to 3 o'clock every day, and I'm out there with the hose, Jimmy. I'll be misting stuff. Stay cool. You know, all my babies, I love you guys, you know, and we're moving them. Oh, crap, this guy's over here, this guy over there, and it's a constant battle. Even right now by my pond, before you came, I was like, are these leaves from the cold? And then I looked at it, the sun.
They have they get a shower every day.
Sometimes. And sometimes people will be like, you know, you might get rust spots or something on some of it. You know what?
Yeah.
Cost of the business, because if not, the other 200 plants are going to suffer and wilt to death.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a bit different when you're talking about hot and lack of humidity versus like hot and very humid.
Yes.
Right? If you're doing hot and very humid, you could just do a shade cloth. Is that essentially?
Yes, and I do have some of those, but if you got a certain plant on the corner, and it just even half an hour of that direct 100-degree weather is going to scorch it. You know?
Yeah,
it's brutal. I mean, we're not Arizona, we're not
brutal.
Vegas, but it's pretty hot out here for tropical plants for sure. And another battle would be bringing them inside, but my house is covered, so you know I don't even know where I find space to put plants in my house anymore.
And then for your garage where you have a lot of plants here, do you? It seems like you have a couple of humidifiers running. What are you trying to aim at for your humidity here?
Really, just make it jungle-like, Jimmy. Right now, it's currently, because it's a little hot, 44.
Like 44.
Not enough.
That's not.
Not good.
Yeah. And what you have like 1, 2,
2. There's only 2 out here right now.
Okay, 2 humidities.
There's only 2 next to my main stuff, but I've noticed at nighttime over here it'll get pretty humid. You know, just in general, the dew will come out.
Yeah.
If I keep the garage closed and keep these running all night, especially if I put it on warm, it will get pretty humid in here. It'll be 60-70%. But as soon as we open it up and the California dry breeze comes, it sucks it out again.
It sucks it out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how often are you refilling your humidifiers?
Oh my gosh. You could buy the best one and everyone will tell you, oh, it lasts 3 days. You'll read all the reviews. 2-3 days.
Right?
It'd be 12 hours and that thing's toast. So the Levoit one, I have this other Hue Pro one I bought recently. I know you guys can't see it, but it's
yeah, we'll look at that one.
The lid comes off, top filling, but
the top filling, a top filling humidifier.
Worth it.
Oh yes,
worth it.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, okay, you buy one for $30-$40 and you think, oh, that's a good deal. No way, spend the extra $30-$40 more and get the top filling.
The top filling one, game changer.
Yes.
I think top filling and large capacity.
Yes.
That's essentially all you need. You don't need any numbers.
No, just the biggest capacity ever.
I was gonna make a separate video on humidifiers. You know, obviously the one that people are talking the most about,
the white one.
Yes, or the most advertised is the Levoit.
I broke that one in about less than 30 days.
Yes. So the Levoit humidifier, I think right now on Amazon in the U.S. is about like $85 or so.
Don't get me wrong, it kicked butt, Jimmy, and
it's good.
I think it did better than this other Hue Pro one I have, but it broke.
I think. So mine hasn't broke. I have 2.
Okay, everyone has that one.
I like it. Yes, everyone
I do too.
likes it. I think the reason, one, is that the aesthetics are good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks nice, right? It looks really nice. 2, it's automated. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what you're paying for. You're paying for the fact that it's automated, and you're paying for the fact that it looks nice. The tank size is good. It's like 1 liter.
Yeah, and it will last a day.
Yeah, it's like half a gallon.
Day and a half.
Yeah, it's half a gallon. But it's not top filling. So what you're paying for is the aesthetic and.
Yeah, even though the Levoit is a handle, you got to take it off, try to uncap it, you know, and fill it up. It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, so I think it's good for those who are not, who don't need intense humidity maintenance or things, right? Like for you, John, like you don't care if you don't need an automated humidifier because
we come out here all the time.
Because his are on all the time.
24/7.
Yeah,
They're always on.
Yeah, so you don't need it.
If you're ever wondering, is the humidifier empty? Yes, it's empty. Go fill it up.
So what you need is, you know, for John, people who are growing like John, when you have your humidifiers on almost all the time, really, realistically, you need a large capacity that holds as much water as you can, so you don't have to fill it up.
I almost think I need industrial strength. Like I need something that plugs into the wall that's going to last. Like something that's in the $200 or $300 range. I feel I need.
Oh yeah.
I want something massive that has like a 6-liter tank.
Oh, I haven't even thought about that yet.
I mean, I barely touched the surface, but I've seen them, and I'm like, whoa, you know. But I need one.
And then the top filling, the fact that you can just easily pour water without having to
the best
take out a tank. That's Yeah.
I think it will save too on your any other one from just accidentally breaking it too, because you're not accidentally spilling water somewhere else. You don't have to slam it in and out and around.
I haven't even thought about the industrialized ones. That like
I want to hook it up to a vent in the garage right there, and I want to have it.
Yeah.
Even if it's $500, if that's what I got to do to not come out here and fill this every 12 hours, sounds great.
That's crazy. Yeah. There's just so much more maintenance to do when you live in a very dry climate.
Yes.
Especially dry and really hot.
Other people I talk to on Facebook, they live in humid climates, and they're like, oh, I haven't watered my plants in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Me, we watered our begonias in the house on the mantle yesterday or the day before. I woke up this morning and they were so limp, and I'm like, oh no, it's been a day and a half.
Yeah.
What happened? Fast things dry out. It's been hot here though.
Yeah.
Spring is coming.
I have to say, I'm very, very fortunate to live where I live, and
you could open your windows, Jimmy, and just let the natural air do its thing.
During the summer.
Let that sea breeze in.
Yeah, during the summer and spring and most of autumn, I have my windows completely open without any humidifiers, or
you could probably get away with barely running the AC unless it's middle of summer.
I don't even know. I don't even run the AC. I just do. I just have my ceiling fan.
My house plants, besides us, my house plants would roast. It would be 90 degrees in my house. It's crazy because we're really not that far. But
we're not. Yeah.
40 miles, maybe 50 miles at the most.
Like I said, the ideal weather regions in California, very, very slim along the coast.
That's it,
and you go 10 miles in and
it's too hot.
Yeah, and it gets really, really hot, really, really dry.
You got to stay within a couple miles, 2 or 3 miles of the coast to get that superb weather for the tropical plants that we all love. If you come any further in, just consider it desert. It's hot, it's hard, it's a lot of work.
So for people who are who are living in much milder, much more ideal weather conditions, just know that there are people like John and a lot of other growers and collectors like you guys who put in twice or 3 times the effort and the maintenance. This is insane. Even if you take away the plants that you have on inventory and plan to sell, just keeping your regular collection is this is a lot.
I get that question a lot. People ask me, how often do you come out here daily? It's 3 to 5 hours a day. I get home from work, it's first thing, screw around with the plants 2 or 3 hours. Maybe I have other things that are more important I should be doing, but hey, it's 100 degrees and my plants are going to roast.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 hours with the plants then,
So I'm also including in this episode a little, a short clip on one of his growing setups. So this is a small, subsection of his garage, and I think it'd just be, pretty interesting. And, some of you guys I know are really interested in looking at other people's setups. And realistically, the more setups you look at and see, it helps you sort of define and make your own setup that works for you and your particular growing environment. So I hope you guys enjoy this segment as well. So let me see. Let's just look at this tiny little setup area that you have here. So you have your, what's that white thing in the
back corner? I have a big AC unit, and it's got a ventilation, so it vents out the garage.
Okay, got it.
And I haven't ran it in a while. Maybe I'll turn it on for a little bit recently, but we are California. It's going to get hot.
Got it.
So
okay.
I have that. I have my top fill humidifier. Let me show everyone that. So this makes life real easy. You take this off. You could even take the tank out in here and clean it with this handle, pull it out, clean all the junk out.
That looks like, that's probably half a gallon. That's a standard large.
That would be a large one. I think that one is around $90, $100. It is better than, I guess, your average one. It works pretty good. I think the Levoit worked a little better, honestly, but I like this one still.
So this one, it seems like you can set a timer.
You could set your humidity level.
Oh, so it is automatic as well.
Yeah.
But it's always on anyway, so
it doesn't. It's on 24/7.
Yeah.
It will run out of water. In 12 hours, 18 hours, and I let it crank.
And then let me see for your lighting.
Okay, Jimmy, the lighting has been a trial and error method.
Okay. That's for a lot of things in plants.
Yes, honestly, I just took the lighting down to a whole new level. I was overdoing it. You could see I was bleaching out a lot of my plants. Yeah. A lot of them.
Yep. A lot of the plants that I have that are near the supplemental grow lights are Yeah, they're getting bleached out as well.
Up on the ceiling, there's a 600 watt LED light that lights all this stuff up sometimes. I don't have it on all the time. It's up here. Spider Farmer.
Oh,
I
wow.
think it's a 600 watt light, and it'll generally cast down everything in here. I used to have that in there,
Uh-huh.
and it was just frying everything,
Got it.
bleaching things out. So there's a point of overdoing it. You
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
the bright light.
That's why I keep telling people too. I keep stressing that a lot of these plants don't need as much light as
You gotta
is
think a lot of these
advertised.
grow below the canopy in the jungle.
Yep.
That's why they have big leaves, wide leaves. They're searching for light. They don't need to just blast it on them. It fries them. I'm guilty of it. Even my pink princess, a lot of them are bleached out. Too much light.
So is the reflecting thing in the back, is that to help with the light?
I think white would have been more reflective. The reflection stuff does help. It also keeps the mold off the wall. You know,
Okay.
easier to wipe down. Keeps the moisture.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was free at work, so.
Okay, yeah, free is good.
Yeah, the price is right. So, and I didn't usually have plants flowing out of here and into every other space of here. It started off in just this corner, and I would have closed this at nighttime.
Got it.
And it would be a humid jungle.
Oh,
in
yes,
there.
okay, I understand what you're saying.
And the
yeah.
whole thing would just be a nice jungle. But after a while, it just got out of control.
Yeah, I can see the humidity setup now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to just have these curtains would come down, and I'd put the things that like the most humid. It would be so humid, Jimmy, things would be dripping water in there.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
be like
yeah.
it's raining in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I could do the same thing over there and set up. I might even
Oh,
have
this
to
is
do that.
actually now that I see, yes, I can see why you designed it like this.
Just
It's
make
actually
little
pretty
bays.
genius. Yeah, it's kind of like you can you have different sort of bays.
Mhm.
For this one, you can probably like cover this if you wanted it.
Yep, just work in progress.
Ah, yeah,
Get there, you know. I'll get there
yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
I'll get another curtain
Oh,
for that
got
one.
it. And then you can have different humidity levels for each of them.
I
if
would
you
love
really-
to Jimmy have plexiglass doors. I'll set up a track and just have a couple doors, and I could just slide them around.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
that's true.
whatever it may be, and then you could still see it in there the whole time.
All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Hope you guys got, something out of it. Maybe you got some new ideas for your setup, or, if nothing else, hope you guys gained some appreciation and, empathy for some people who are growing plants in really dry places. Yeah, if you like the content, please like, subscribe. It definitely helps me a lot. And until next time, happy planting.